Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. It's another Therapy Thursday. I'm Dr. Triffy. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Transforming Trauma with Dr. Triffy. Every Thursday, I show up to teach skills and strategies and tips to help us think better so we can feel better and do better. Okay, y'all. So this February, I've spent the month on Thursdays talking about love. And I thought I'd run out of things to talk about. So I asked for some ideas. And somebody suggested that I talk tonight about different kinds of love, types of love. Huh? And I'm like, okay, interesting. So I went and did some research. I went and did some research for you, and I've got a fabulous, fabulous, fabulous session lined up for you. So when you come in, share the live, let your friends know that we're talking about love, and type your questions, type your comments. I'm looking forward to hearing what you'll have to say tonight. I like to tell people that I speak the way I do with the accent that I still have found a way to maintain because I'm from the lovely island of Dominica. Dominica is not to be confused with the Dominican Republic. We are further south. We are between Guadeloupe and Martinique. We love the Dominican Republic, but they speak Spanish. We speak English. Dominica is called the nature island of the Caribbean. And although I practice and I live in Atlanta, Georgia, I am mentally in Dominica for most of the day. Does that make sense to you? So, okay, y'all. But love is universal. Love is universal. And as I said, somebody asked, are there different kinds of love? Of course there are. Yes, there are, is the quick answer. And I'm going to delve into that a little bit. There are many ways to love. And as a human being, you get to create the kind of relationship you want. Absolutely, you do. But is the relationship you created what you intended to create? Is it what you really wanted? And if not, can you change it? Hmm? Can you change it? And how do you change it? So, how can you tell if what you have is the real deal? So, in my research, I found the work of a psychologist called Robert Sternberg, and his theory is called a triangular theory of love. What's a triangle? A triangle has three sides, right? So, his theory of love is based on three different scales. And according to Sternberg, there are different ways you can combine those scales of love to create different kinds of relationships. And I'm going to describe them tonight. So you're going to be able to assess and identify what kind of romantic relationship you've created. And was that what you wanted to create? And what to do to create the kind of relationship you mean to experience. Yeah. He says that a relationship that is based on a single of those three elements I will describe is much less likely to survive than one that's based on at least two or more. Yeah. And if you think about it, even those that are based on three, which is the ultimate, even strong relationships can lead to an empty kind of feeling in love if the couple does not do the work to maintain that relationship and to keep it healthy and to manage their emotions across the lifespan of the relationship. So, all right, y'all. So Sternberg says that there are three scales of love. The first one, the first scale, or the first component, or the first aspect of what makes love, yeah, as in true love, as in complete love, is intimacy. Intimacy as in friendship, intimacy as in liking the other person. We're not talking about love. We're talking about like. I like you. I want to hang out with you. It's about a feeling of attachment and closeness and connectedness. I like you as a person. Now, intimacy, friendship, liking another person, liking your mate alone, ah, that is not strong enough, according to Sternberg, to be classified as a long term relationship. Yeah, of a romantic nature. Yeah. Intimacy, I think some of us, we think about intimacy as physical connection, sexual connection. Intimacy, according to Sternberg, is more about friendship, getting close to the other human being. Like I said, liking the other person, enjoying being around them, being with them. Yeah. Some of you have heard, and if you have kids, you might have felt that way sometimes, where I love my child, but I don't like them today. Yeah. So we're talking about liking the other person. The second aspect, the second component of true love, according to Sternberg, is passion. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Passion, as in physical chemistry, that is very strong. That can be very intense. And it's about romantic and sexual attraction. Yeah. So a lot of people meet, and I think often uh, that's the strongest, as it must, because when you meet someone, you don't know them yet enough to even like them. So what you're responding to initially is the passion, is the chemistry. Okay. Now, if that is all we have, as that attraction fades with time, as it changes, the connection might change if that's all we have. So, passion alone is really infatuation. If all we have is passion, we are infatuated with each other. Again, that's step one. That's step one before we have time to get to know each other, to get to become intimate, as in friends, as in liking the other person. And the third piece of true love is commitment, according to Sternberg. What does that mean? Commitment, as in we have decided, yeah, to create something together. So we've established this liking, the friendship, and the passion as an entity, as an entity. If all we have is commitment, so if you have no passion for the other person and you don't really like the other person, Sternberg says this is an empty, empty, empty love. And sadly, aren't there some people who found themselves in that situation? So let's talk about the combinations of each of those aspects of love. So, number one is romantic love. Romantic love, according to Sternberg, is when you combine passion and intimacy. Passion, as in physical chemistry, yeah, with friendship and liking the other person. That's romantic love. So, that kind of combination can often lead to a marriage or a committed relationship. But what is it missing? If it doesn't have commitment, which is the third piece, he says that those types of relationships can easily be broken when life happens. Life always be life, and y'all. Challenges are gonna come, people are gonna change. Somebody might gain weight, somebody might get sick. Yeah, the kids come along. So the relationship, that combination of passion and friendship meets a lot of stress. And he says without commitment, it might crumble. So it's not because people didn't necessarily love each other or want to be together. But again, if you have not made a decision that you're going to stay together, the relationship is vulnerable. So, number two, second combination is intimacy. Remember, intimacy is friendship and liking plus commitment. So, if I like you a lot and we commit to each other, but we don't have what? We don't have passion. What we have is called companionate love. Companionate love, where I like you and I'm committed to being with you, but I'm not physically attracted to you. Yeah. So Sternberg says that, yeah, you can have some marriages that's the way it ends up. Think about if a relationship was probably arranged. Yeah, maybe they have a strong commitment to be together and maybe they develop a friendship, but perhaps they didn't biologically have chemistry for each other. All right. Third type of combination. Third combination is called fatuous love. So think of that as infatuation. Yeah. You have commitment and you have passion. Now, y'all, you know, you can commit to being with a person for one night. Yeah. So I'm committed to staying or being with you for whatever length of time. Huh? We have passion, we have physical chemistry for each other, but I don't like you. We're not friends. Hmm? We are not friends. So, like I said, you might be committed to a one night stand. Yes. Or you might be in a relationship where you might have had all three factors. Yeah. But one person cheats on the other one, or they lie. They don't want to stop lying. They only do what they want to do. One, you might stay physically attracted to each other, but you might not like the person anymore. So, but your body might still like them, but you don't think of them as a friend anymore. Okay. So he says uh, that kind of setup can be quite volatile because think about it. If you have high chemistry for a person, but you don't like them much and you got to be with them for whatever reason, you might have imposed the reason on you on yourselves, or your society might have imposed the reason for you all to stay committed, but that can be pretty contentious if you don't like the person as a friend, as a human being, and can lead, of course, to nasty separations, divorces, where people really don't like each other. And like I said last week, sometimes we can stay connected to each other in a very negative way. Okay? I was thinking as I was doing this research that within the past 90 days, I have spoken to at least 4 separate men who are incarcerated because of crimes of passion, where they literally said they found their spouses or they learned that their spouses were with other people. And they did things, yeah, in a volatile, heated moment, yeah, in response that have them, some of them in there for life. Okay. The next kind of love is called consummate love, which is that beautiful triangle that he talks about, where you have intimacy. I like you as a person. You're my friend. For many couples, you're my best friend. There's passion, there's physical chemistry, and there is commitment. There is a decision that we are going to be together through thick and thin. So it brings all the components of love together. And for most of us, that's what true love feels like. Yeah, that's what's most people's ideal is that triangle. Unfortunately, of course, because we are human beings, that's more rare. Because I was thinking about all of the social media hula baloo, especially with younger people, as they talk about relationships. And I've heard some younger people say they don't think uh, some young men of this generation like them, right? Like them, as in the intimacy piece. In fact, many younger women are saying they think many young men prefer, right? They like other young men more than they like being with them as people. Now, if you don't have that intimacy, again, you're going to have passion and you're going to have, yeah, we're going to be together, but it's going to still feel very painful if I don't feel connected to you, if I don't feel close to you, if I don't like you as a person. Yeah, but we're there. Yeah, we're people might call that friends with benefits. Although that friends, I'm using it loosely because a lot of people who use that kind of friends with benefits situation, I don't know that they necessarily like each other a lot. I don't know that they necessarily have a lot of intimacy. Yeah. So Sternberg says that fewer of us will experience that kind of love because that takes intention and that takes effort and time, commitment, definitely. And what he says is that couples, though, who invest the time into creating their relationship like that, as painful as it is, again, if you didn't listen to last week, it's going to be painful as you move through the process of becoming one with somebody else. It's going to be painful as your childhood shows up and you have to overcome that, yeah, in yourself and within the relationship. So it takes effort, but couples who find themselves in that category continue to enjoy each other's company, yeah, their space and their time throughout their golden years, golden as they age. Yeah, I think my stepdad and my mother had that. Yeah, I think they had that because that's what I saw. That's what I saw. And that type of relationship is the strongest, is the longest, is the most long lasting. And again, y'all, it's not as if it's a perfect situation because how can it be perfect if you're dealing with human beings? It cannot be perfect, but these are two people we are in it to win it. We're riding, ride or die. Yeah, ride or die. But we like each other as human beings. You're my friend. I'm telling you, everything that happens, you're my go-to because we are that attached and we are that connected. And then there is physical chemistry, there is passion in the relationship. So as I did the research, I thought to myself, well, that's beautiful. Yeah, that's the ideal. But there are clearly some barriers to us doing that because culturally, for many cultures, uh, men typically make the first move. Yeah, and if women make the first move based on their liking of a person or their passion for a person, they might be looked at in a negative way. All right, given that, many of us go by this little phrase, a man finds a wife. So we're assuming that the man is picking. Well, men, when you look at passion, intimacy, which is friendship, huh, and commitment, men tend to lead with their eyes, which is about passion. Yes or no? Hmm? Men tend to pick with their eyes. So passion tends to win on the scale, generally speaking, yeah, of which of these components men who are in many of our cultures the pickers are going for. Well, what about commitment? If we're going for passion, and we might not even have intimacy, which is liking the person that we're being passionate with, we're creating many babies, yeah, that we don't necessarily want to commit to. Yes or no? we're committing, we're creating many relationships that we don't necessarily want to commit to. And as young people, some young people are arguing that you might not necessarily like because you might not have spent enough time with a person to get to attach to them. So do you, I mean, those, if you think about that, those are factors to set us up for relationships that don't last. For relationships that don't last. Yeah. If all I'm going, if my leading aspect of love is passion only, that's a one-legged chair or one-legged stool. Hmm? And after the initial tsunami of endorphins and brain chemicals that help us to physically get attracted to other people, once those subside without me liking you, hmm, the intimacy piece, and without me having made a decision to create something with you, the commitment piece, the stool falls apart. The stool collapses. So, what's the answer? What's the answer? Maybe in cultures where it's been only typically the man doing the leading on the choosing. Uh, I mean, maybe women have to uh, start doing a better job at choosing, or perhaps at deciding who they will say yes to. Hmm? Choosing better. If we're looking at long term success, if we're looking at long term success, we have to do a better job at choosing. Hmm? Many families get involved in choosing their mates. Again, like there are some cultures where you have arranged marriages. I know growing up in my day, the person who wanted to date you had to come to your parents' home. But uh, I wonder if family doesn't tend to move towards like the commitment piece, like lean into commitment, right? Versus they don't necessarily care if you have passion, perhaps. But if they know that this person is committed and this person can provide for you, a lot of families will push you towards a person. And again, that's not enough to maintain the kind of all around satisfaction that most people are saying that they want in long term relationships. So, uh, what are some strategies to build each component? Let's suppose you are already in a relationship and it's just struggling. Yeah. So intimacy, I'm going to tell you right now, communication is the key. Communication is going to help you with each of these aspects of love. Intimacy, build communication skills. There are many of us who were not raised to express our feelings and our wishes. We're actually taught the opposite. Be quiet, shut up. But if we're going to create relationships that work over the long haul, we have to learn the skills. It's a skill that means you can learn it. Like you can learn to type. Hmm? Many of us learn to grrr on Facebook. Yeah, we didn't start off learning to type, but it's a skill. Yeah. So things like talking to your person often. And when I say talking to, I'm not saying talking at, I'm saying talking to, as in listening, listening, because if the two of you are there, you're not going anywhere. It's okay to sit and listen to your person without being ready to speak, yeah, or rebut or whatever. Listening is a skill that can be learned, and it's an unavoidable skill. It's a skill that you cannot do without if you're going to be in a relationship long term. So this is like, I have to learn to drive. I must get my license. I must practice before I go take that test. Body language is another big deal. Body language is nonverbal, but all of us know we can bring people into us or we can push people away from us with the way we're speaking, with the tone we're using, with the kinds of words we're using. How can I become your friend if I'm not going to be using beautiful words, affirmative words? Yeah, words of affirmation. Yeah, supportive words, words that encourage, words that are not necessarily looking for your weakest parts of yourself, words that are building on your strength. I think the part about communication, communicating what we want, what we prefer, is like just super important. There are many relationships that cave because as we move through life and we change, one person, for example, might gain too much weight for the other person, but that person might not feel comfortable expressing that to the other person. They stay quiet about it. The other person doesn't know. This person's passion goes, shh, and they start dipping. When perhaps if we act with each other like friends, let your friend know what you prefer, what you like. Be clear about it. Speak what's on your heart, speak what's on your mind in a loving and thoughtful, respectful way, so the other person who is also your friend can do something about it for both people's best interest. So it's communication, communication, communication. Things like staying accountable and respecting the other person's boundaries. That's how we establish attachment and we stay attached, because I know you respect me, you care about me, you love me. How do you build passion? Well, that one, chemistry in large measure, I think is biological. So I think you either are physically attracted to a person or not. But I think you can enhance that, and I think you can maintain it with, again, communication, expressing what I like, what I don't like, what I prefer, what I want more of, what I want less of. Yeah, negotiating that on the front end before you go into a stage of commitment. Talk about those things on the front end before you say, I commit to you. Because the person might not want to make an adjustment. And you only find that out 2 years in, 5 years in. Work with a therapist if it gets too hard. Work with a therapist if it gets too hard. Work with a therapist if it gets too hard. Yeah. Chemistry is also heightened by new things, novelty, surprise. Yeah. So keep things interesting. You know, keep things interesting. Keep learning, keep growing, keep doing new things so that at least every day you have something new to tell your person, as opposed to, oh, I was just home, nothing happened. Yeah, that's kind of boring. That wears on people. So stay focused on growing as an individual and as a couple. Do new things together. Yeah, prioritize your time for each other, with each other. Travel, new hobbies, playtime, whatever it is you all find fun, make time, prioritize the time. Yeah. If you want to maintain your pizzazz, your zing, your passion for each other. Because the thing about it is, y'all think about it, we're human beings. And before you really commit to a person and you're not sure if they're going to be yours, we are, we're breaking down doors, we're doing everything possible to look good, to be nice to the other person. And then we commit. And some of us, we just go sit down. Yeah. It's as if, yeah, we were running a marathon and we're exhausted now. So I don't have anything else to do. I've already snagged the bag. That's my girl. I ain't got to do nothing else. I'm good. But our brains don't work that way. It needs that continual stimulation to stay curious and excited. So do it. Do it. Strategies to build commitment. Commitment is about trust and dependability. It's about knowing that this person is going to be there for me. So follow through on your word. It's little things, I think, that start eating away at how safe people feel in what is supposed to be a committed relationship. If you say you're going to do something, do it. If this person says they don't like it when you do XYZ and you all negotiate for you to, do your stuff in a different way, follow through on your word so you can build trust and you can keep the trust and the person's likelihood of depending on you. I think one of the biggest ways we lose the other person is we flake out, we lie. We straight up lie. And they catch us in the lie and they have the courage to give us another chance. And we still lie again, stuff like that. It's just emotionally brutal. And a person would have to be very, like, you would have to have certain things wrong with you to be okay with that. Okay. And to keep tolerating that. Commit to the relationship versus the person itself. Why do I say that? And many people say that. I believe it. The relationship is a thing you all create together. I am here, you are there. I am a human being. You're a human being. We are flawed. We're going to make mistakes. Like I said earlier, I'm going to gain weight. You're going to lose weight. I prefer you when you have plenty muscles instead of the big belly. Stuff like that. You, the human being, you're going to change. You're going to do things I don't like. I don't like your mother. Yeah. Or I don't like my stepdaughter. Stuff like that. So we're going to be like sometimes with each other. Commit to the relationship so that you see the person's flaws as passing. Yeah, we can work on that. But this thing is staying steady and keep building together, because when couples stop building together, it's like they lose their mission. What I mean is create things together. So building together might look like a hobby, like a business. Building together might look like a hobby. Building together might look like a ritual that we always do together. Building together might be church. Okay, might be what we volunteer to do, might be how we spend our money. But something to keep tying you all together. Because again, we're over here and we're emotional beings. So we need things to keep us tied together. Okay, overall, be realistic. We're human beings. Learn to love. What do I mean by that? Love is not just the passion piece. Yeah, love is the friendship piece, and love is the commitment piece. So learn the skills. Communication is the grease for the wheel. Yeah, learn skills to make each of those aspects of a relationship work. Yeah, even if you didn't see it, even if you never saw it, read books, go to a therapist, Plan for all the factors of a relationship. Yeah, plan for passion and plan to keep your passion going. Or else, listen, a lot of, I'm not going to say a lot, I'm going to say many people uh, will essentially give up the passion piece, especially after they have kids. They'll just give it up. Like, I'm busy, I'm tired. These are all true. I'm busy, I'm tired, I don't feel like it. All true because your body's going through different hormonal changes. But we got to be communicating about this stuff. We got to be communicating about this stuff, or else the other person might be vulnerable. It is what it is. We can say, well, oh, they know better. They made a commitment. Yes, but my friend, right? We built up our intimacy. I don't want my friend to be vulnerable. So I have a responsibility to communicate. We got to communicate. Yeah. If you're in a relationship now and you're like, yo, this stool is a one-legged joker. All we got right here is friendship. Might be time to renegotiate. What do I mean? Communicate. Yeah. Talk about it. Go to a therapist. Yeah. And learn the skills. It's not automatic, y'all. It's skills. Okay. Because a relationship where you have all three of those components, I mean, it never grows old. It's always surprising. There's always something to look forward to. You're not sure what you're getting up, what tomorrow's going to bring, but you know who's going to be there with you, and you know that person is on the same mission as you. So, whoever it is who asked me to talk about love and the kinds of love and how do we make love better, there you go. There you go. Who do we have tonight? Happy Thursday. How are you all doing? Bernice, happy Thursday. How are you? Good evening to you too. Bernice says, I can see you're drinking your water and minding your business. Yes, look, my water. And I am minding my business. Hi, Veronica. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday, Rye, my friend. Happy Thursday. I hope you're well. Lavonda says, I just asked a Caribbean man out today. He's an older man. I no longer care what anyone thinks. And if he felt something by it, he's not for me. I am with you 100%, Lavonda. If he doesn't like it, that's okay, right? But you didn't stop yourself from the potential of meeting somebody you maybe perhaps felt some passion for, that you are interested and curious about creating a friendship with, building intimacy with. Yeah, that might lead to a committed relationship. Patricia, happy Thursday. Patricia says, how do you communicate with someone who lies constantly? Someone who lies constantly needs therapy. And if they don't want therapy, this might not be a safe place for you to be. So someone who lies constantly cannot build commitment because it's hard for you to trust, that they will have your back. So it's also hard to keep a friendship with a person who lies all the time because we don't like people who lie. So, like I said earlier, if I catch you in a lie once, twice, three times, you need a therapist. You need to figure out why you're lying. There are many people who lie because they're afraid and anxious, and they learn those styles of making their way through life early on in childhood. So last week I talked about people's shadow showing up. Not our shadow, everybody's shadow. So when you get to be kind of safe in the relationship, you're going to start seeing that show up. If a person has that kind of history, it's going to show up. So you have to decide if you are going to. I would hope that you had enough time to get to know that person well enough to see those trends before you decided to commit, but we don't always see it. Mm? When we see it, because we made a commitment, my suggestion would be go to a professional for help. Yeah, go to a professional for help. That person might need individual therapy and you all might need couples therapy. Okay, but uh, before you commit, take your time to build intimacy. So to become the person's friend, to get to know the person and to know what they're capable of before you commit, before you mix your money, before you mix your babies, before you mix your house, before you mix your 401k and your retirement plan and your relatives. Yeah. And if you have kids, your kids. Hi, Doc. Fitz, happy Thursday. How are you? Patricia says, and sometimes they forget what lies they already said. Yeah, many people lie when they're feeling anxious. They learned it in childhood to feel safe, to not get hurt, to not get beat up. So many people will continue that lying habit. It's a bad habit. And unless that person gets to the source of that habit, yeah, it can cause a lot of damage. So again, recommendation is to understand those aspects of true love. Yeah, I gotta have passion, I gotta have a friendship, yeah, before I move to commitment. So in that friendship building stage, I'm learning the person. And I'm learning what I can take, what I can deal with, what I cannot. If it's too much for me, as in lying, some people are okay, as in they can manage a liar. Some people can manage a liar without uh, losing the friendship and the intimacy piece. Yeah, but some people cannot. So you have to know yourself, and know what you can handle, know what you can manage. Just because you started dating a person doesn't mean you have to commit to them. In fact, dating is supposed to be about evaluating, assessing, looking and seeing, looking under the hood to see right, looking under the tire flat. Uh, the seat's okay. You know what I'm saying? You got to be looking. We're evaluating, we're assessing to see, can I commit to this person? Can I live till death do us part with this person? And if I find out during the investigation stage that this person has some traits and characteristics that either they're not willing to adjust or change, they don't want help, they're fine, they're good, but those things keep causing me distress, I have to decide if I'm going to move forward in a situation that I know is going to bring me distress 24/7. And I won't be able to just leave without going to spend money with a lawyer. Hmm? So um, it is, I mean, it's the passion piece is easy because we don't choose who our bodies like. You can choose who you get attracted to physically. Um, but you do choose if you're going to become their friend. Yeah. Build intimacy with them. And even bigger, to commit your life to hitch your wagon to this. So I'd say take your time. Yeah. Get your notebook out. Check, check. Check. They meet that criteria. They don't meet that. Check, check. My pros and my cons list. Yeah. I think we have to encourage our kids, like teach our kids to do it like that. Me, that's what I think. And those of us who are divorced, single, widowed, as we make a foray back into that world, if we do, I think that's important. Very, very important. Lies are a huge red flag, of course, because you just never know how deep a lie goes and how wide, how far and how wide a lie goes and how a lie could hurt you. So, yeah, you've got to take lying seriously. It's very potentially dangerous. I mean, you can't If I can't depend on you, why would I why would I join my life with you if I cannot depend on you? Or if I cannot trust the words that are coming out of your mouth? Why would I join my life with you? That's a setup. That's insanity, you know? So we have to look for those things. Look for those things early. Yeah. And the first time a person lies, again, like I say, I mean, we're all human beings. We're all human beings. So people, everybody comes with their shadow. So in your person who your body felt passion for, that you're starting to become a friend to, as you start seeing that, initially, I mean, I wouldn't automatically X a person out because I caught them in a lie. Me, I wouldn't. But again, everybody is different. So some people can work with a liar. I mean, I've spent 30 years working with people with struggles. So maybe I might be able to, tolerate that or work with that. But if you know that is, you can't work with that, don't put yourself one more day beyond that experience. You don't have to. No, you don't have to. You get to create the kind of relationship you want. And there are many people on the earth. Many, many, many people on the earth. There is not one person for you. And it's not just because your body was attracted to one person that that's the person for you, because the body responds to many people. Yeah, chemically. We choose who we will become friends with and who we commit to, but that biology piece, you might go to church and you just happen to be sitting to somebody and you're like, oh, you never met the person. Yeah, that's the biology piece. That's the passion piece. But what is passion only? Passion only, right? I mean, it's not the complete triangle. It's just one of the pieces on the triangle. And that's where a lot of people get stuck. That's where we have a lot of illegitimate kids and a lot of adultery and divorces. People lose their business over just passion. Yeah. I mean, and again, you have every right to create that kind of relationship if that's what you want. But if you're looking for committed long term, health benefits that come from being with a person who's got your back for a long time, more money in your pocket because you have two people earning money, you know what I mean? Then you're going to take your time to create it in a triangle to increase the likelihood mm, of your mental health being okay, of your physical health being okay, and all the other good benefits that come with being healthily coupled. Okay, healthily coupled, because depending on who you couple yourself with is the end for you. Some people bring us yeah, and we get to choose. We have to choose better. Good night, Anthony. How are you? Janella says honesty is my best policy, so lies are a no-no. You have to know what is too painful, right? You gotta know, ouch, this is too much for me. Not gonna do it. Okay, not gonna do it. All right, precious gem. Happy Thursday. So yes, y'all. So to review, right? So to review, Sternberg says that there are three components of love. They are passion, which is physical chemistry. There is intimacy, which is friendship and liking another person. And then there is commitment. Commitment is the decision that we're going to move forward together. We're going to create something, we're going to build and grow together. And you can have just commitment, as in, yeah, I don't like them, my body doesn't like them, but I'm just going to be with them because my parents say I should be with them, or I'm at the age where I should be married. I don't like this person, but they're here now. They're making good money. Yeah. That's the sprinkle, sprinkle. That's the sprinkle, sprinkle love, right? It's empty love, though. It's empty love because there is no intimacy in friendship and there might be no passion. Yeah. And you get to create that if that's what you want. It's just that most people seem to prefer all three. Yeah. You can have romantic love where you have intimacy, friendship, liking, and passion. You can have companionate love where you have friendship and liking, which is intimacy and commitment. That's my friend, my good friend, this old man in the community, this younger lady, she's got a kid, and they're like, you know what? We're just going to be together. We don't really feel like each other like that, but I'll provide for you and we'll be there for each other. That's companionate love. And then you have fatuous love, which is commitment and passion only. Don't like each other, but your bodies like each other. And you decide, well, we're going to be together even if we don't like each other. That's usually a volatile kind of setup because when we don't like people that we're living with, ugh, yeah, it's very painful. And then the triangle, which is called consummate love. Most people's ideal is intimacy. Intimacy is friendship. I like you. Passion, my body likes you, your body likes mine. Commitment, we're going to be together. We're going to do this. We're going to build and grow together. So we get to choose. Again, we have the freedom as human beings to choose whatever we want. But if we're talking about decreasing those rates of divorce and creating situations where kids can grow and thrive and we can make a lot of, I say money because I think two incomes are better than one. If you're with somebody you like, that's a friend, and you are passionate about the person. Yeah. So that's it. That's it. That's my Thursday offering for tonight. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your Thursday. And I want to encourage you not to give up, Patricia, Janella, Precious. I want to encourage you not to give up if your intention is to create that kind of love experience. Yeah. And if you are in it, you're alive and the resources are there. So you can still shift things around. Okay? So I wish you all the best. Happy Thursday, Nurse Drago. I will see you all around the way. Nous que parler en l'autre fois. Peace.